Happy St. Patty's Day. Got a good customer of ours coming in. He's in college. Store up there checked out the brakes on it. He wasn't, particularly happy with what they were telling him, so he brought it to us this weekend, had us check it out. Kind of just look at the brakes, see what's going on. Noticed a couple things while we were doing it. First thing is, very important when you do a brake check to actually pull all four wheels off, mic your rotors, inspect the brakes themselves, not just kind of shine a light from the outside while it's down on the ground, the wheels on it. And this is a perfect example of why we pull all four wheels off when we do our brake checks. We've got the rotor already down. Mark's already taken some of it apart. And if you look, you can see the face of the rotor. It looks pretty good, aside from the hot spots, which unfortunately can't be machined out of rotors. You've actually changed the temper of the metal. That's why they're different colors. And you just wouldn't be able to cut enough material out to get that hot spot out. But this is where it gets good. We switch it to the back, and you can see where only part of the rotor, only part of the brake pad was actually touching on there. We're going to pull the brake pad out and kind of show a little bit better of actually what's supposed to happen. That's the brake pad. You can kind of see where it's touching. They sit in there like such, so you can see how much he's not using when he actually goes to stop. It's shiny here because that's the only part of the pad that's actually touching the rotor and stopping the vehicle. That's why we only have so many hot spots, because you're only using this little bit versus all of that to actually stop the car. Same thing on the front. You're just working the brake system very, very hard. We can also see back here how low the brake pad is. It's pretty thin. It's rusty, a little hard to see, but this is friction material, and that's meant to wear. This is the backing plate. It is not. You see your little wear indicator, your little squealer right there that's kind of touching. You can see the gap, and they get close. This actually touches the rotor and makes a little noise. We wanted to show the back here, though, so this is why it's very important to pull all four wheels off and look at it again. The other shop hadn't mentioned anything about the back brakes on there, and they looked out there, and if you look here on the inside, we can see again on this caliper, and get a light out there so we can see a little better. You can see metal, friction material, that's meant to wear, but look at the amount of wear that we've got out here, how much pad we actually got left. This is really over 50%, so he's got a lot of brake material left on it. It looks good from the outside, but when we look inside, he was fixing to start grinding. His noise was actually coming from back here and not necessarily up front. We did take the other rotor down. We're not sure what the other shop had done or why they had done it, but they started to cut it and then stopped because he called back and says, I don't want to do it. Now, they already machined some of this rotor, and they didn't do a very good job doing it. But when you turn it around, look at all that rust on there. Next to none of the pad is touching. So that tells me that it had been sitting. It's got a lot of rust on it. That inboard pad was probably stuck to this rotor, and when they started to drive, they tore half of that brake pad off, which is why it wore out a lot faster. So very important when you get a brake check done is to see him remove all four wheels, get in there and look at it. There's measurements on these rotors, but with the amount of rust and pitting it got on there, we're going to take so much out, we're not going to be able to machine them at all. So just one of the key things, you want to make sure that when you get your car checked out, that the person doing it is, actually checking it out.